And it's exciting as it gets. It's the Law Challenge Season 3, which will start on January 1, 2023. It's exciting, it's challenging. If you love the law, not necessarily, just wanting to be a lawyer, but if you love the law, if you love to see people debate, people show their understanding of the bedrock of who we are. We just spoke to the GRA and we concluded that many of the issues you complain about are legally binding. So if you want them to change, you need to speak to your MPs to get the law to change. So the law is everything for us. And this morning I've been joined by Miss Agatha Roxon. She is a lecturer, a law lecturer at the University of Lancaster, or Lancaster University, Ghana, and King's University College. And she's a lawyer in Ghana and the UK. That must be really exciting.
Thank you.
Great to have you here.
Nice meeting you too.
Right, so the Law Challenge, what about it interests you?
I love the part that it's actually a healthy rivalry between the smartest law students in Ghana and also the law faculties in Ghana coming together to try and educate the public on some basic principles of the law, which is quite lacking at the moment in Ghana. Yeah.
So tell us what this is all about. You've mentioned the different faculties,
yes.
But how exactly does the quiz happen? What are the modalities?
Okay, so all faculties in Ghana are initially invited to join the contest, the Law Challenge contest. And then the individual faculty, law faculties actually, the individual law faculties go and do their own selection for their smartest students. However, they won't go through it, but it's quite rigorous because all the students that come on board are really smart, as in they are really good with the law, abreast with the law, which is what we need. So once they select their students, then they register online and get the organizing committee, which I am part of, to actually go through the administration process with them. And then we kick off with a individual context between two universities, and then we go through the final one. But there are some twists and turns for this new season.
Tell us about that.
Okay, so with the third season, the Law Challenge contest has actually reached its third season, and we have actually included or incorporated the full moot court contest.
That it will be fun.
So that is like law at practice insertion. You have the real life judge, court of appeal judge insertion and everything. So once a judge sits, the whole environment becomes a courtroom, and you have to actually go by the court procedures and the civil procedure rules as well as the court rules. So it's quite interesting and exciting.
So the contestants definitely there will be a case to look at. There will be
a moot case, yes.
Okay, there will be a defendant.
Yes.
And there will be
it depends. So we can have an applicant, a defendant, or a complainant, a respondent, an appellant, a respondent, because that was a court of appeal case. So that will be an appellant and then a respondent.
All right.
Because you are appealing at the court of appeal.
Great, you're right. I think I need to stay.
These are all the technical terms.
So if I were to be competing in this, you'll be marking the terms I'm even using, right? So right from the procedure, the terminologies, everything will be marked.
Yes.
But that will be very interesting to watch, to see how these.
And the judge did that. The judge actually commented and said, I need you to speak the law.
Okay.
And that is what we mean when you're in the courtroom. There's nothing like streetwise talk in courtroom or in law.
Interesting.
So when I'm even lecturing my students, I tell them, I need you to speak like a law student.
Yeah, okay. I get that. I get that. But our quiz master, Samson Ladia Yenine, our very own host of News File. And Samson started as a broadcast journalist, and he's such a fine lawyer now. Tell us.
Who knows? You will go in there.
Oh, well, let's see how it works. It won't be a bad idea, would it? I can be in your shoes, be a lawyer in Ghana and the UK and every other place I want to practice. Yeah. But tell us about something, how he handles this, what he brings on board.
He's brilliant. I mean, he's got a flair with the law as well. He actually knows the law. He already has a show that he does on a weekly basis. We relate to the law, so he's actually good. And he relates well with the students, which is very important. And because he's also very popular, it helps with the whole contest as well. Yeah.
Right, kudos to you, Samson. And we will see how you you moderate this session, especially with the students starting January 1, 2023. The time is 2 p.m. Okay, it will be on a Sunday. I know that many of you would have gone to church, but just relax and watch how. I'm just looking forward to the moot court session. Would it happen in every contest, or it will happen at the concluding part of the season?
So it will only be the final section of it. That is where we have the first and the last law faculties competing for the final position. So that's where the final spot. That's where the moot court will come. So that is the final stage of it.
Yeah,
it's good actually, because then it helps you to actually understand from the beginning to the end how it is dealt with. Yes.
Beyond the moot court session for this season, there's something else.
Yes.
Which is about how you're interacting with the students. Tell us more about it.
Okay. So again, we have this new procedure that we're doing, or we've incorporated from this season, and that is actually taking the law contest to the doorsteps of the students by allowing them to actually host the contest in each university. And GIMPA was the first one to actually host this contest this season. So following on, we've actually gotten a lot of offers from the other faculties to try and host the fourth season as well as the preceded, like the continuing seasons.
Okay, so this whole session was at the GIMPA Law School, but you're hoping to move to another faculty of a different university another time. This must be really costly. Tell us how you're going about it, and definitely there's something that drives you to do this. If you understand TV production, you know that this is not a mean thing to achieve at all. How are you able to pull resources together, and what are you looking forward to in terms of sponsorship as well?
So thanks to Joy FM and JoyNews, who have come on board to be one of our main partners, actually the partner with this season. We're hoping to gather a lot more sponsors to support us. But currently we have sponsors such as Goal Ghana and other sponsors that, just to name a few, but we are really looking forward to getting a lot of corporate partners and a lot of corporate organizations to support us. We are currently in the negotiation with APSA Ghana, and we are hoping that other banks, financial institutions, and also corporate institutions like Despite Media and the rest will all support us financially, because as you said, Bernice, it does cost a lot. And I don't know how Reverend Ankara is doing it, but from my perspective, as a UK-trained lawyer, we've always incorporated pro bono work in our field of profession. And coming into Ghana, I realized that there's that legal awareness gap in terms of legal education to the general public. So when I realized, or I felt that I needed to support, and this opportunity came along, I was very eager to actually come on board the organizing committee to support it and make law a bit more open to the general public, because I feel a country that has knowledge in law is always we get citizens that are very law-abiding, in terms of they are aware of the law, the basic principles of law, which is lacking at the moment in basically in our basic and secondary schools. I did my secondary school here, and I really didn't know a lot about the 1992 Constitution, Mary's.
Oh, St. Mary's, that's nice.
So it's very important that we get that concept, at least that basic concept for our children, our young future leaders.
How do we do that? How do we ensure that, like you're saying, basic law, people just understand something that can just keep us going as a people? Exactly.
So, for instance, this is a typical example of how you learn the law. So, an ordinary Ghanaian will not come to me as a legal person to come and ask me, what are the essential elements of a contract before I enter a contract? They would have to come to my chambers or my law firm and all that. But when you actually watch this program, you'll be able to learn some of the basic elements of contract, which is very important before you even go into any contractual agreements with anybody. You need to know all these, that you've got the elements the valid elements in place before you even sign any contract or basic contract, be it oral or in writing. And these are examples of ways that you can actually learn the law, the basic principles of the law. And it's very important that you watch it with your kids as well, because then the kids get to learn all these.
Yeah,
I'll be watching it with my kids.
Yeah, that's nice. I like that you mentioned the contract, because my mom, who finished school a very long time ago, can still define what a contract is. And she defines it legally.
Yes.
I cannot define it legally. So then it also comes to the point of education and how we can make it. And you don't necessarily need to understand law because you want to be a lawyer. For my communication course at GIJ, I did ethics in journalism, which had to do with law. So I understand, okay, libel, I understand all those other things that come with my profession in regards to the law. And so I think that it's just interesting that it needs to go
incorporate it
down to...
We need to incorporate the basic ones in. So business, for instance, do business law. I lecture business law at Webster University as well. So you incorporate those basic concepts of law in certain areas, but it's only at the tertiary institution, and it's when you actually enter the tertiary institution, but we need to incorporate it right from the outset. So be it at the junior secondary or senior secondary, just incorporating it will help a lot.
I love that you do this. And Miss Agatha Roxon, she is a lawyer in Ghana in the UK, and she lectures at the Lancaster University and the King's University College here in Ghana. What's the biggest dream for you?
My biggest dream coming back to Ghana is to actually see a lot of our citizens being abreast with the law, and also trying to work in a way that is according to the law. And as you said earlier on with your visitors or interviewers,
The guests,
yes, the guests that came on, they were on about GRA, and GRA is revenue law. You need to tax law, and it's very important that we know all these areas as well. Not to learn it to be able to practice it, but to be able to actually apply it in your daily works, wherever you find yourself. And I hope we can actually do more of these legal awareness for our citizens to be able to be abreast with the law.
And so
and help the courts actually, because then the courts will not have tons of cases trying to deal with it, or even giving the
yeah, you're right.
Yes.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense, because then before going into a contract, it would be problematic. You would have seen it before and thought, no, I don't need to do that.
Yes.
Okay, so lawyer Agatha Roxon, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you too.
And we wish you all the best,
Great.
trying to further your influence across the world. And
one more thing, if anybody wants to, or any organizations want to sponsor us,
right.
We are happy for you to contact Joy News, or you can also contact my colleague, Reverend Ankara. I'll leave his phone number with Benes, and so if you contact Joy News or Joy FM, you'll be able to get that. And or even go on the Law Challenge website, as well as the Facebook. We've got it on Facebook, and send us a shout or a message to say that you are happy for, you want to sponsor us, because we really need to sponsorship. We need more sponsorship for us to be able to continue the sustainability of this contest.
Right. Thank you so much once again, Ms. Agatha Roxon. They're telling us about the Law Challenge Season 3, which starts this Sunday. It's the 1st of January 2023 at 2 p.m. Your quizmaster is Samson Ladi Anyanene. Well, we get interactive with you right after this. Do stay. Today we've spoken about quite a number of things, but also we'll be asking you to assess your best minister and the worst for this year. Do stay for that.